Welcome to the first episode of Retro Bowl. I'm in my sixth season of Retro Bowl. Retro Bowl is pretty cool. This is the last previous games that I won against Minnesota, Denver, Atlanta, Las Vegas. All these games I won straight. I'm currently 7-0. And by the way, at season 5, I actually won a Super Bowl, and this is season 6 at Retro Bowl right now. So what I like about Retro Bowl is the fact that it's progressive. You can rebuild your team and keep going as you keep going. So this is what the standings are currently looking at. My division and the rest of the league, and then we can also probably look at the AFC conference as well, that's what's going on right now in the sixth season of Retro Bowl. And this is what the playoff picture currently looks like. It's pretty cool. Retro Bowl is pretty cool, but I do got to note I have some problems with my team. I got a few players injured. That's probably gonna make me lose the next game for sure, at least. As you can see, my defensive back is injured for 2 games, and currently my running back, which is my bread and butter of the team. That's probably why I won the Super Bowl in the 5th season, because of Bradley Johnson, and because he's injured, I'm always gonna have a problem winning games whenever he's injured, because my quarterback, even though he's pretty good, it's just that he's trash. As you can see, he's thrown 17 picks and 20 touchdowns in the season, and look at his career stats with the team: 145 interceptions and 219 touchdowns. Kind of hard to believe I actually won a Super Bowl with him, but it's mainly because of the running back, not because of the quarterback. Running back in my team is the backbone of the team. It actually makes this team really good and win. So sadly he's injured. That's all I could say. But we're about to go play against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What I like about Retro Ball is you can choose your jerseys to almost anything, like rush, away, home, and alternate jerseys. So let's get ready. Here's an example. So the only thing I hate about Retro Bowl is that you cannot play defense, and unless you pay for the 99-cent version of the game, you cannot do kickoffs either. But as you can see there, my running back does not play good at all whenever it's only the backup. So if the star running back's not playing, the backup plays terrible. You're not going to get much out of him. And also what I've noticed about Retro Bowl is that if your defense is trash, you ain't winning any games against powerful teams. You might not even make it to the playoffs. That's how Retro Bowl just is. Offense is not all there. You got to have a good defense. You could probably win with offense, but if you have a trash quarterback like mine, you're not going to actually win any games. As you can see, he's going to throw quite a few interceptions against the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers have a trash offense. Okay, they have a really good defense, but they have a trash offense. And some of these interceptions you're going to see, they really just don't make any sense. And then also, even if you have a pretty decent defense, the computer still makes it almost impossible for you to stop the other team at times. You got to be on the winning edge in order for you to even have a chance to stop see, there's an interception. That should have been like a pass. I mean, yes, it was double coverage, but it should have been a completed pass the way it threw. Also, you got to get your hands or fingers used to how to control the angle of attack of the ball. And yeah, the quarterback, he does do some good, awesome plays, but honestly, he's really trash. All I can say, I think my defense is a average defense. But still, in order for you to be really good at Retro Bowl, you got to have a really good defense. And honestly, I might buy the 99-cent version of the game in order to have a 10-man roster. I mean, like a 10-man roster instead of like a 5-man roster. Because I have a 5-man roster only, like 5 for offense, 5 for defense. But as you can see, some of these plays will be questionable, especially interceptions. Like, yeah, that was a good play. It was a catch. It was a touchdown. But I'm going to get blown out in this game. Just watch. Kickoffs are pretty easy to do, but you got to have a good kicker if you want to go in the 60-yard range. It's pretty hard. As you can see, it was very easy for them to score, even though I have a better defense than they do. Well, actually not. I take it back. They have a way better defense than me, but still, like that was supposed to be a catch right there, and it wasn't. That's some of the examples that I keep seeing in this game where it's definitely not like you would think. And sometimes the controls, they are a little bit iffy when you try to avoid players, because you could swipe to avoid players. It doesn't work sometimes, but other times it does a really good job. Honestly, if you're trying to catch up and you're blown out and you think you might have a chance with a good couple defensive stops like that's one-on-one coverage. That, in my opinion, that should have been a catch, because I was throwing it closer to the player. but to my player, but it was. And then like some of the routes they run, that was incomplete. Some of the routes they run are kind of slow, and when you try to get the route, they're really not there, and that's what causes you to mess up a play. And then obviously when your running back is out for a couple games, because they that's what I like about retro ball, is that they actually have real injuries, so you have to play with your backups, make it a little bit more challenging. But honestly, what ends up happening is you can't really use your running back when someone's injured because it makes it tough and challenging. Honestly, right there, that was a double coverage. That was just a bad throw. Sometimes when you try to throw it deep, your quarterback is trash and doesn't have the arm strength to throw it deep. And sometimes the accuracy is way off, and sometimes just the way you operate and try to throw the ball, your finger slips off of the controls and throws it way off course. That actually often happens in this game, so you got to be really good at this game. What I've noticed about this game, unless you're in easy mode, it's going to be very hard for you to actually win this game, which makes it very interesting and fun to play, especially if you're trying to have a good Super Bowl winning team, or as they call it in this game, Retro Bowl. They don't call it Super Bowl. Now, the good thing about Retro Bowls is actually, hey, once you first sign up with this game, like you start playing it, you go through Retro Bowl history. It actually shows the history of real NFL teams that played the Super Bowl and who won, which makes it pretty interesting in this game, honestly. One thing I did notice is the audibles that they allow you to use in the game is limited, even though you can use up to four per half. The problem that comes is that once you use them, you really are basically having a problem to win the game, because some of the plays that you see, they're like, oh yeah, there's gonna be no way, no one's gonna be open. I gotta catch up in the game, and there's no way that route is good. But once you're out of the audibles, you're basically done. You're trying to win. It's just that, just the way they have it set up, that you gotta be strategic in your moves. And honestly, without having a running back, it's very hard to win this game, because my running back is probably the best player. I have a good wide receivers, but for some reason, under good defenses, even if they're wide open, the defense from will be at the 40-yard line and catch up to your wide receiver who's at the 20. So you got to have really, really good players in order to win this. But as you can see, that was another interception. That one, I believe, is totally my fault. But also with players not catching the guy who intercepted the ball, and he runs through everybody. It seems like almost like the game is rigged or something, because that was just a pick six through traffic, which honestly rarely happens. But it's just a game, whatever. But as you can see, it's almost like real NFL. But also some of these throws the quarterback makes, and you're like wondering, well, how in the world did they even catch that pass anyway? But other than that, my quarterback's pretty trash in this one. And as the last effort, I'm gonna try a long field goal. I mean, there's pretty pointless to try and win the game. got blown out 50, 60, 22, and of course it's no good. But anyway, some of my players are actually coming back, or actually one of them actually got injured. So I got another good player that got injured, but it is what it is. And I'm going to criticize that it's on the coach or the offensive coordinator, whatever it is. This shows your condition of your players, which makes it pretty interesting. And then obviously you can trade for players as well. And also you could also hire free agents if you can. I'm debating whether or not I should actually save up my team credits in order to get a good quarterback, or should I just play this whole entire season and then cut my quarterback and draft one, because you do have a draft at the start of every new season in this game. And honestly, my quarterback is under a bad contract. I signed him thinking he's going to be good because he actually played good in Season 5, but that's because most of our players were actually not injured, but this time he does not have any supporting help, and once that happens, he throws a lot of picks, so might need a better starting quarterback. I don't know. I need 30 credits in order to make that happen, and I need to cut him. I won't be able to trade him anymore because the trade deadline is going away, and right now I'm playing the Vikings, and honestly, we're starting good. The Vikings are actually way better than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but somehow we're playing good right now, and I can tell you that it's pretty hard to play, but honestly, this was just a good drive right there. And you could do 1 or 2 point conversions every drive. It allows you to do all kinds of good decisions if you want to do that. Honestly, sometimes if you have enough time, enough points, just go ahead and try the 2 point conversion to practice it. But as you saw in there, as soon as they have possession of the ball, it's easy for them to score for some reason. Like, I do have a pretty average defense, a lot better than the 0 or 1-star defense. I at least have something going on, but it's probably because another player got injured, and that's why I'm having trouble winning. But as far as I know, right now, we're going for blow and back-to-back touchdowns, but we'll see what happens. Maybe I can actually win the Vikings with a running back that's still going to be out for another game after this. But yeah, without a running back, it's pretty hard to win. I'm telling you, that running back is the star of the team. And usually running backs do help you with a checkdowns, and they could actually usually score a first down in the checkdowns. I mean, cross and get a first down in the checkdowns. But with a bad running back, checkdowns are almost impossible because the defensive line stops the running back from even trying to break across. As you can see, the running back ran and couldn't make it across the line of scrimmage to get wide open for a checkdown pass because my quarterback's heavily relying on going deep instead of short. I haven't been accurate doing short. There's a way to go that you could pass short, but that's why I'm looking for a lot of deep balls. And short is really the running back. And when you don't have the running back for checkdowns, it makes it very, very hard to win. And yeah, I don't have a star running back right now. If I ever buy the 99-cent version of the game, I'll probably get 2 running backs to have as backup, because it's just better like that. So I would have to draft a second one or hire a free agent. Honestly, whenever you do the contracts, it's pretty cool to see the contracts. I mean, you got to be smart in decisions on who you want to keep under the contracts. Honestly, you do want a running back, and you do want a wide receiver. Quarterback is helpful, but if one of your star players are out, then your quarterback, if it's not a star quarterback, it's going to be very torturous. Now, you can upgrade your players, but I have not maxed out an upgraded bad player yet. And that right there was just a bad decision move by the running back. By the quarterback. It's probably because the guy didn't run his route the way I wanted him to do, or I forgot. And then some of these incompletes, like you try to throw it towards the player to catch it before it's out of bounds, but obviously for some reason, when the quarterback's not accurate, he's just going to throw it out of bounds, and it's just not going to happen. And yes, I am actually behind right now, behind the Vikings after starting good, but that's all going to change in a bit. We're actually going to catch up, and we are going to come close, but not come close enough in order to win, I think. We'll try. We'll try to win. It's actually sometimes easy. If everything's clicking, it's easy to actually win games and catch up. I've done it before, but other times it isn't. And that's when you kind of get frustrated. I mean, we're all going all vertical here, and we actually scored a touchdown. That's My quarterback's actually good in all verticals because he knows the players are going to be wide open. But when it comes down to making tight plays, that's where he messes up, and that's why I'm thinking about either cutting him, trading him, well, trade deadline is over, and possibly drafting a new one or getting a free agent. But when you draft, you got to build. So I don't think I want to do a full rebuild on the team. But yeah, in Retro Ball, you can actually do full rebuilds on a team. One thing I've noticed is that when you're trying to catch up and say you're going to score a touchdown, all right, you score a touchdown, you score your field goal, and it gives you the option to do an onside kick or not because it follows the NFL rules as much as possible to the letter. The problem comes with your defense. Even if you have a decent average defense to try to stop him, the computer will just never let you stop him. They'll just be like, yep, the other team scored, you couldn't stop him, even though you have some good players. Now, onside kicks are very possible, but you got to have a really good kicker. And honestly, if you don't have a good kicker, you're going to vary from 10 to 18%, and depending how strong your opposing team is. But either way, once you fail on an onside kick or kickoff, and you're like, okay, let's see if our defense is going to stop the offense and give us one more chance. That usually rarely happens, unfortunately. The computer, for some reason, unless you have a super elite defense, is just simply not going to let you stop, and your offense has to work again to just even try to come close again. Because look at that, it's 48-38. I might be able to score, I might not. Then I get sacked, so that just makes everything harder. Usually you can avoid a sack, but not all the time. And honestly, the best thing right now you could do at fourth down or that close of us time left is field goal and try for an onside kick. At least you're only going to be losing by one possession, which is the goal. But yeah, that was game over, and that's the results. And I don't even know why it comes out where I have to praise the player, praise the coaching. I think, honestly, we did a really bad job. Even though, yeah, we have some of our star players out, but it is what it is.